year in '89. Hey, Miss Shandy, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing, Wayne Buckingham?
I'm doing good down here. Snowed in. We had about 8 inches last night that fell. We
Oh,
had ice
goodness.
and rain. Now we got snow. I don't know. Is your parents doing all right up there? Did they get any snow up there in that area?
Now, the day before, yeah, when I talked to them earlier yesterday, they hadn't. But I have a niece in Murfreesboro, Nashville. I know you know her. She said it was kind of bad.
Yeah, like I went outside and rolled in the snow last night. Took some pictures. It was just so pretty, and the sun was not the sun, but the was shining and everything. It was a great blessing. But we nice to have you on the show, Shannon. I know we kind of came into Clemson together and everything, and just here want to talk to you, see what you got going on. But we want to start where it all began, and let the Clemson fans and people know. A lot of people probably forgot about us because we old. But we
You
want to
owe.
we want to let them know where are you originally from, and my question I always ask everybody, how did you get started in basketball? If you give us a little bit about that history, where you're from, and how you got started.
Okay, I am originally from Morristown, Tennessee. I don't know how many people know about Morristown, but we are about 35, 40 miles east of Knoxville, right on the North Carolina line.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes, yes.
So how big is it? Is it like bell buckle? Is it a little bit bigger?
Belt buckle doesn't even sound big. I'm pretty sure we're larger than
Population
belt buckle.
500. Population 500.
We in the city of Marshtown, there's probably about 30,000 people, but in our county, it's about 60,000.
Okay. Oh, okay. So y'all's a nice city. And
Yeah,
so was basketball for women big around there at the time when you started? You know, what year did you pick up a basketball?
I think I started in really elementary school, but fifth grade, I think we had a team, and they probably wanted me on the team because I was one of the tallest girls. I don't think I was really good. But then I played in middle school only because I had some friends that wanted to play. So they wanted to play. So I decided to play. I still don't think I was very good in middle
Right,
school. So when I got
right,
to high
right, right. Okay.
school, I became better when I got to high school and I hooked up with his name is Coach Lynn Berkey. He coached the All-Star team that I played with for AAU team that I played with for 4 years. And that was
Okay, okay.
Out of Oak Ridge, Tennessee.
Oak Ridge, Tennessee. I heard y'all was
hmm
pretty good back then.
My
Yeah,
AAU,
you had another pretty good girl played on the AU team with you too, didn't you?
we had several. All it was 12 to 14 of us. All of us went to Division I colleges. So yes,
Okay.
pretty
So
good.
let me ask you this question. So you played high school, and uh, who was your high school coach? And so high school team. Uh, let's look in your senior year as you was getting recruited from different schools, and trying to figure out how did you end up coming.
Okay. Like most, I think I got recruited by several different schools, and my favorite were North Carolina because I was a Michael Jordan fan, like everybody else. I visited
Right.
Kentucky as well because I had a friend that I grew up with. She ended up going to Kentucky, and
Okay.
talking to Coach Davis and Coach Green and Coach Kennedy Dixon on the phone. I had conversations with them on the phone, and when they could come visit me, they come visit. I enjoyed that
Uh-huh.
conversation. I enjoyed that conversation best. So that's how I ended up at Clemson.
Right. So
And
Miss
then when I
Dixon helped recruit you, huh?
yeah, she did. Her and Coach Kerry Green. hmm My
I remember Coach
position
Kerry Green too.
my position coach. Yes, he
Yeah.
was he was hard on us.
Oh yeah. You brought up two good names right there, Coach. She was a legendary Clemson too. You fell in some good footsteps right there and
Awesome. She
everything.
was the
So
best. Was the best.
so So what was the very key to make you sign on that dotted line? Was it Coach Davis? How was it? What was that key to say, I'm coming to Clemson University?
I think probably when I visited the girls, they seemed pretty nice, and what Clemson could offer me, I was pleased with that package.
Okay. All right. Well, girl, let me tell you something. You know, I know it was a lot of people glad that you came. I mean, we had some good freshman years in '89 and everything. Do have a special guest that wanted to say words to you, okay?
Okay.
Hold on one second.
All right.
I'm trying to figure out where they are. Where they go?
Shandy B, you mentioned
here we
everybody
go.
but me.
I said Coach Davis. I did say you.
But the real deal was her mom and dad liked me because they knew we would keep a good close eye on her.
Hey, Coach Davis.
Is that what it was?
Shandy B, how are you, baby?
How are you?
Oh, I'm good for an old man.
I'm getting there.
So,
honey, I got underwear older than you.
Whatever, Coach Davis.
so Coach, we're glad to have you part of the show tonight, Coach. To surprise Shandy, we actually just got to where she signed, talk about coming to Clemson. We like to know, do you have any good stories about Shandy her freshman year? I know she probably didn't want to show the practice. Good stories you tell about it, Coach Davis. Let the people know how that.
Don't tell any stories because he called me a spoiled brat from Tennessee. Don't.
She was a snotty-nosed freshman spoiled brat from Tennessee. No,
Coach Davis, how did? Go ahead.
We're awfully glad that Shandy decided to be a Lady Tiger, and I guess the point that we tried to make when we were recruiting Shandy, as well as everybody else, was, you come to Clemson. It would be an out-and-out shame if you came to Clemson and played basketball for 4 years and didn't get your degree. And Shandy not only got her degree, but she stayed on as a graduate assistant and got her master's degree. And then, to her credit, she goes on even further and gets a doctorate. So we're very proud of Shandy and what she's accomplished in life. And she's one of the greatest players that ever played here at Clemson, obviously being inducted into the Clemson Athletic Hall of Fame in 2006. But she still holds a lot of records at Clemson. And I've got a list of them here, but it'd take me the rest of the show to go through them.
And I was ready to say, I don't even know which ones are still held up, so I don't even have that information.
Well, you're not number one in any of them, but you're way up there. Let me just go through some of them. As a senior, she averaged 18.7 points a game. She was named second-team All-American by the American Women's Sports Federation. She was first-team All-ACC. She shot 54.5% from the field, 74% from the line, and she pulled down 8.6 rebounds a game in her senior year. Now, that's pretty good season in itself. But she was a starter on 4 NCAA tournament teams, and she holds several records at Clemson in the NCAA tournament. She scored more points than anybody in the NCAA tournament history. She's got more field goals and more field goals attempts. Now, Shandy never saw a shot she didn't like.
Whatever, Coach
Dave. Plus, she holds the record for.
So she put the meaning to black hole, huh? And she wasn't gonna get rid.
Listen, she didn't shoot it till she
Coach
touched.
Dave, let me ask you this question while we got you here with Shandy. Through that recruiting process, how did you find Shandy for one? What was that process of? when you first saw her and got a chance to sit down with her and talk to her into the home?
Well, that AAU team she talked about, coached by Coach Lynn Berkey, who was he did an awesome work with young ladies in the summer by putting together the East Tennessee Stars, they call themselves, and but she did a heck of a job there, and that's where I guess we first spotted her, and then went to see her play at West High School there in Morristown, and that home visit with Mom and Dad, and they were her biggest fans and still are, I guess. But they were just wonderful people, and we knew that she was the type of person that we wanted in our program at Clemson, and she never disappointed. Oh, and she threw that North Carolina Michael Jordan crap up at us all the time.
I did not. I probably just said I had to go visit. I needed to go visit North Carolina.
But she's a winner, Buck. And at that time, North Carolina was pitiful.
Right.
But they got it going. They've got a good program going now. As a matter of fact, I'm getting ready to do TV here with Clemson and North Carolina tonight.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
But they've got a good program. But North Carolina's who we had to beat.
You took out your bid.
Sorry?
Right. So that's good. You took out your business schedule. It's a surprise, a coach, and everything. And I know she'll have a treat about that. And we got a couple more surprises for her. She don't know yet, but it's gonna be coming on the air and everything. And,
oh Lord.
We just try and keep her on her toes.
Well, she talked about. She talked about Coach
Go ahead,
Green.
Coach.
She talked about Coach Kerry Green. We had a wonderful staff back then. Coach Green was a great teacher, and he really put, I think, developed Shandy. That was one of the things we did best that we're most proud of in our program is that we brought players in. They weren't McDonald's All-Americans or anything like that. So Shandy was an all-state player. We brought a lot of good all-state players in and developed them. And we had a lot of consistency with our program because we did develop our program. But the assistant coaches did all the work, and they deserve all the credit. And but Shandy and Coach Green, Shandy's got a little edge to her, you know. You might you might even call her sassy. I don't know.
A little bit.
Kind of spoiled, Coach.
No.
Spoiled a little bit, Coach.
Spoiled rotten. Spoiled absolutely rotten. But Coach Green could handle it.
Yes, he could. Yes, he could. You could too, Coach Davis. You could too.
But we had a great time. Shandy Bryan, we'd take a dozen like her every year if we could get them.
Oh, thank you so much. And
Coach,
thank you for coming, Coach Davis. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate you coming on the game tonight, Coach. Appreciate you coming on, say a few words about this young lady right here. You say I called her a young lady because I messed up and said we are old in the beginning. She got me screwed on that. She said you might be old, but I'm not old.
Oh, she'll set you straight now, Buck. Don't mess up.
Y'all know I deal with 10 and 11-year-olds every day.
Well, and you do a great job. I know. Just
mind to do that, Coach.
Yeah. Well, let me just say this before I leave, Buck. Clemson, all of Clemson, not just me, I especially, but all of Clemson couldn't be more proud of Shandy Bryan and her work here and her work that she's doing now and the kind of person she's turned out to be.
Oh, thank y'all. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You are a part of it.
See you later.
You are a part of it.
Go Tigers.
All right, go Tigers.
All right, Coach. I appreciate you coming on, Coach.
You bet.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Oh, now what did you think about that, Miss Bryant? How you feel? How you feel, Miss
That
Bryant?
was awesome. That was awesome. I hadn't seen Coach Davis since probably Coach Dixon's funeral. That may be the last time I seen him since then. Yeah.
So let me ask you, when I say Coach Davis to you, like I know how when I played, my coaches was kind of like a father figure to me and stuff. When I say Coach Davis to you, what comes to mind, and what can you say that Coach Davis instilled in you in 4 years that you're using today?
The same types of things that my parents instilled in me. He just made sure it was more than about basketball. It was being a good person, and basketball was going to end at some day. So being a good citizen, being a good person, and just being kind to people.
Right. Most definitely, I've been knowing Coach Davis since he was up at MTSU. We had him on the air, about 2 weeks ago. We was talking about when he left the job at MTSU to come to Clemson, and I said he beat me there, because actually we went through that stage where he was recruiting my sister to got her to come to MTSU, and he hauled with the Clemson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, well, let me ask you. You brought up a name about Miss Barbara Kennedy. I know she played a very important part in your life, and God rest her soul. She's gone on to glory and everything. What can you tell us about that relationship, and what part did she play in your life? I know she was a good mentor to you as you was at Clemson. What could you enlighten us on some of the things that y'all talked about and some of the things y'all went through together as them days that you needed somebody to talk to?
Right. She had great words of wisdom. She was a coach, but she would always talk to us about, she represented the coaches, but she represented the players too. She would go to the coaches and give them our side. And then she would also give us what the coaches were thinking. If case how we don't like everything that a coach
Right.
does or a coach says. So
Right.
she was that go between, like a sister or mother figure as well that I cherish dearly. And she became friends with my parents as well. Her and Mr. Dixon, they were friends and invited my parents to stay with them even after basketball.
Right. Okay. That's if what was can you give us one moment, give us one bad moment where you got in trouble, and one good funny moment where that y'all experienced together over your 4 years at Clemson, if you can remember one.
Well, when I was a freshman, I think I got in trouble all the time.
You wasn't late for practice, was?
No, I got in trouble in practice.
In practice, okay.
It was always like Coach Davis said, that I got an edge to me and I'm kind of sassy. And he would always, either him or Coach Green would always tell me to do something, and either I liked to do it or I didn't. So one of them would always run the stadium steps. Either they tell me to do it or to run the steps. So instead of just doing it, I would say, no, I'm going to run the steps.
You talking about Death Valley steps?
No, the steps in Little John Coliseum.
Little John
Coliseum, yeah. So I had to run the steps a couple of times.
Okay. I thought you were talking about their Death Valley steps. I was like, girl.
Oh, no, we didn't.
Y'all didn't have to go through that. That's fine.
I think that was just a freshman getting used to the environment. That's all that was.
Right. And here's another question that I asked everybody, Shannon, to the point of my city guys, and like I say, you're from Tennessee, and I know they say we country because I'm from Bell Buckle, but that relationship, you came to Clemson. What was the biggest thing that you had to adapt as you showed up at Clemson? What was the biggest thing you had to adapt to coming from leaving home, going to college? Then two, what was one of the things that I know you said the great coaches and stuff. What was one of the key things there that really just put that dot on it and then say, you know what, this is where I want to be? Kind of gave you two questions in one.
You loaded. It was loaded, but it was loaded. But the adapting part, probably just being away from home. That having to get used to being away from home. And you know how when you're at home, I have both of my parents. So, not having them exactly there whenever I needed something, I could call and they would send it, but it wasn't immediately right there. Another thing,
Right.
the makeup of Clemson University. I know there were student athletes there that were, like you say, from the city, and they may have been from, quote unquote, an all black area, or they may be used to something different. Well, where I'm from in Tennessee, that was the makeup of Clemson. It didn't necessarily have to be all black. It was majority white where I'm from. And, of course, Clemson, majority white. So I was used to that. So other than that, I mean, that was the only adapt.
Oh, all right. So I have right here, Shannon, I have a little slide I put together. And I know the weather is bad. So I'm praying to God right now. I got my fingers and my toes crossed that it plays and it doesn't mess up on us. And
Okay.
Just give them some things that okay.
Okay.
Weather.
Look, that's fine. You can send it to me.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Hope it kick in. We got time anyway, cause we got an hour to talk. So. Seven 16.
Oh.
What I'm gonna do? Gotta let it play out.
Is it still snowing there, or it stopped?
Yes, it's still snowing here. Still snowing and icing. Trees are snowing too.
So are you in Shelbyville? Are you in Bell Buckle? Where are you?
I'm in Bell Buckle.
Well, okay.
Bell Buckle. I am back at home. Back
Okay.
at home. But I love it. I love it, and I never dreamed. It's I guess you need the city so much. I lived in Atlanta since '86, and it's just everything is so peaceful and quiet. And I stay on the road all the time back at Clemson. I'm always, something that I do. So it's kind of like a little retire home. And so I guess as you get older, you don't just relax.
You are correct. Peace and quiet. That's what we like. Peace and quiet.
Yeah. Peace and quiet. Peace and quiet. I'm gonna do design video and everything, and weather and all that. And but I have another special guest that's actually just logged in and about to get him on board. Okay, don't you fall out to
Okay.
see? Okay.
All right. Oh, Tim. Hey,
It's Shandy
Mr. Kendall,
O'Brien.
I hope
how are you?
I'm great. How are you? You haven't changed a bit. You haven't changed since your freshman year.
I'm still here. I'm still kicking it.
That's great. We were talking
yeah.
about who were we talking with Buck about the trip to Connecticut in 1989, 90. Somebody else we had on. I don't remember who that was, but anyway, Shandy, you
I think it
remember
was
the
Coach
day?
Davis.
Who was it?
Coach Davis. Actually, Coach Davis just on here, Tim.
Oh
He
yeah,
just
yeah,
signed
yeah,
up.
yeah. Yeah. Did you have Coach Davis on?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was on.
Okay. So Shandy, I looked it up. When Clemson beat UConn at UConn your freshman year, they are 50-3 in home NCAA tournament games, and that's one of the three. The game you played in.
Oh goodness. Oh goodness.
Now, do you remember that game at all? You were a freshman.
I remember faintly.
You had a pretty good game, as I remember.
Oh, hey, that was a long time ago.
Wait,
This was a
Jim.
long time ago.
That was one of the greatest days in Clemson basketball history because earlier in the day we beat LaSalle, a game that Buck played in the Hartford Civic Center, and this was a great day for me because I grew up in West Hartford, Connecticut. So
Oh,
I actually stayed with my parents for that whole weekend. And, Jim Phillips was a real good supporter of women's basketball. And so he said, well, why don't we do the women's game on the radio too? So we actually did the men's game was at 1:00 and the women's game was at 6:00. And the UConn Gamble Pavilion is only like 35 miles from downtown Hartford. So
okay.
so we did both games that day, and of course that was a huge win. I mean, UConn was just kind of getting going, but still, that was a memorable days, and both of you guys were part of that. So I thought that was kind of neat. We've got you both here. Buck was a big contributor to the win over BYU. In fact, we wouldn't have beaten BYU in the first round that year if it wasn't for what you did, Buck, coming off the bench. For some reason, Eldon was kind of schizophrenic that day.
Oh, Lord.
He was struggling, and Buck came in off the bench. He kind of saved the day, as I remember. Is that how you remember it, Buck?
Yeah, something like that, but a little higher. No, but you're right. I think he had the flu. I think Eldon.
Yeah, I
had the flu
think
that
he might have. He was under the weather, and he wasn't. I mean, the game was 49-47 final.
Oh,
So it
goodness.
was real low scoring.
Right. Yeah.
Real low scoring game. But so what have you guys talked about? So I won't double up on the life and times of Shandy Bryan.
No, we just Coach Davis touched on recruiting and her coming. He touched on a few of her awards, but we know you got all the stats and numbers. So most definitely you can go over her career and refresh everybody's memory because I was a big fan of women's basketball. So I remember she put up some good numbers a whole lot of times. So if you can go over her Clemson career, Tim, I will truly appreciate it.
Well, absolutely, yes. Shandy was made All-American. There weren't a lot of women's basketball All-American teams in those days. There was a Women's Sports Federation All-American and the Kodak All-American, and Shandy made second team Women's Sports Federation. She averaged 18.7 points and 8.6 rebounds a game her final year. But the thing I always remember about Shandy, she got better and better as her time went on. Her scoring average and rebounding average went up each year. She shot 55% from the field her last year, Buck. That's pretty good. And I always thought you kind of emulated a little bit of Barbara Kennedy. What kind of effect did Barbara have on your career when you were at Clemson?
Oh, and we talk about that too. She had a great effect, even as a coach, a mentor, a sister, parent-like figure. She was always somebody that we could go to talk to if we needed to talk to somebody. And she was real good to us, real good to us.
Yeah, no, but B was the best. When you think about, that her freshman year was my first year at Clemson, 1978-79. When you think of the people that started at Clemson, then Terry Kennard and Jeff Davis were freshmen on the football team in '78, and she was a freshman on the basketball team. You got 3 Ring of Honor people that all started at Clemson basically the same day. But yeah, B was she was terrific. So do you still? I mean, I know you always come back for the reunions. I saw you last year, but I know you try to keep up with and I think that's one of the great things about Clemson women's basketball is the sisterhood, so to speak.
Right. I have some. Now I know Tim remembers. I don't know if Buck remembers everybody, but Jackie Farmer, Little Jack, Jackie Mattress Roberts, Lisa Brown. We have a group chat. Every now and then I talk to Jessica Barth on Facebook and some of the other girls. But yes, we try to stay in the contact some kind of way or another.
Well, the success that your team, you went to 4. Not only did you go to 4 NCAA tournaments, but you won an NCAA tournament game every year of your career. I don't know that another class did that. We will have to give Coach. Next time I have lunch with Coach Davis, I see him all the time. We have a group, Shandy, that gets together for lunch at Potbelly Deli, usually once a week, and tell a lot of old stories. And of course, Coach and I are involved doing games. He's actually doing the North Carolina game here in a little bit. I'm doing the baseball game the first baseball game to start the season, and I still do the football and the basketball game. So, did Buck ask you what do you have any game that stood out in your mind, or your fondest memories of your career at Clemson?
No game in particular. I just enjoyed my stay there. My college life was one of the best parts of my life as a whole right now. College, playing basketball, meeting new people, traveling, just experiencing that life away from home, but you still had parent figures like the coaches and then mentors. I love that part of it.
So when you see the WNBA on TV, do you wish they had a WNBA when I was coming out of college?
Well, the year that I think I chose to go to grad school, I think that was the first year of the WNBA or the year after.
Okay.
So,
I think it was the year after. I think it was 95, 96 maybe.
Yes.
But anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I watch it every now and then because I some of the players, but I don't know. I don't know that I would have played because I had an opportunity to either go to grad school or I had an agent to go across seas, but I don't know what happened. I think Coach Davis told me yes first. So I decided to to go to grad school and get my master's. I don't know if I could have been that far away from home.
Yeah, I always wondered if you thought about going to Europe, because we've had some, one of our, I'm trying to think who it is. One of our former players has been playing over there for like 10 years and doing
probably quite well.
Doing really well. Yeah, doing well. I'll think of it in a minute here because I actually read an article about her recently. But yeah, a lot of your former teammates stuff are going into coaching or people in that era. I follow a lot of them on Facebook. Laura Cottrell's been, I know you didn't play with, but she's been real successful in.
I've seen her. Yeah, I was grad assistant when she was two of her years that she played. I mean, and I coached before I left South Carolina. I coached at Seneca Middle School for 3 years.
Okay.
And it was okay, but I don't think coaching. That wasn't necessarily my desire to coach. I enjoyed it at the time, but I haven't been coaching since I've been in Georgia.
Gotcha.
So let me ask you this, Sandy. Hold on, Tim.
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
in '96, was you there on the team '96 when they won the ACC championship?
I was coaching. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you was part of that. So you must have did something because well, you 2 years in a row. What was it? '95 and '96, Tim?
No, 96 and 99. When Atora Umo was a freshman and a senior, she and Amy Guerin, another lady from Tennessee. We've got a lot of good heritage in women's basketball in Tennessee. We got maybe one or two in the men's. Some from Bell Buckle, Tennessee.
Yeah,
Coach had some connections, obviously, in the state of Tennessee, and so I remember, Amy Guerin was quite a shooter and a terrific player, and I think she's gone into coaching.
Okay.
So Tim, I found this out too. Tim, I've been on the phone making some phone calls, and I know Shandy. She got inducted to her junior high Hall of Fame and her high school Hall of Fame at her hometown. 2006, right?
Was this recent or because
it's been a minute. I couldn't tell you the year because I don't have that. I have those
2006 for your high school. 2007?
No, 2006. I think that was Clemson.
That was a Clemson Hall of Fame.
2006 was Clemson. So I'm not sure if my high school was before or after. I think it was after. And then my elementary school, I don't even remember. It's been so long ago.
She got jerseys hanging everywhere.
She does. She was inducted into one of the people who went in the Hall of Fame with her was Jonathan Byrd, the famous professional golfer, was a member of that class, and he's still playing on the PGA Tour. So, Shandy, have you gotten to see any of the Clemson team play this year recently?
Not this year. I have not. I'm looking forward to. My parents told me they watched the game that was on TV some time ago, but I haven't seen any of the games yet.
Yeah, we had a TV game with Syracuse that was very exciting. That might have probably been the one she.
That may have been.
So we were up on Syracuse by 25 at the half, and darn if they didn't come back and send it into overtime. But then we won the overtime. It was one of the stranger games that you've ever seen, to see a team blow a 25-point halftime lead, but then come back and win it in overtime.
That is crazy. Did Syracuse just play well, or Clemson just didn't play well coming out in the second half?
Well, a little bit of both for both teams. I mean, we shot the lights out. We've got this girl named Kendall Spray, who's a really good three-point shooter. I think she's got over 300 threes in her career. She's actually a transfer, and she made 7 threes in the game, and she made some in the extra session, and that made it made a big difference. So. Okay. So have you gotten to see the facilities when you came back? I know when you've come back for
the alumni. Yes, we went on a tour. Somebody took us on a tour the last time that I was there, and it's really, really nice. Really, really nice.
Yeah, I know. And I think back of all you guys who come back who played when we, you had to walk up those steps in Little John, and we're just
right.
They had all these little storage areas all over the place when you'd come up to the stairs, and who knew what was behind those doors? I always was afraid to open those doors and a rat would run out or something, but it didn't. That I didn't see one, so we got through it all. So
yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good.
So I did also take note that you had a niece who was a terrific softball player at the University of Georgia. Surely you would have steered her towards Clemson if we had a softball team, I know.
Well, you know what? Her senior year at Georgia was last year, and their season got stopped by COVID.
Right.
So she graduated in the summer and she took her extra year of eligibility, and now she's at the University of Lafayette playing her last softball year.
Oh, really? Okay. Now I actually read her, but she was one year she was 4th in the nation in home runs.
That was the year that got stopped by COVID. She was well on her way. She was hitting.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I think she's hit 11 home runs and she only played like 25 games or something. So
right. Yep.
So you might have some great softball blood in you, Shandy, that you don't even know you have.
I know I don't have it because my parents played softball, slow pitch softball, and they used to try to get me out there, and even pitching slow, I could never hit that ball. Not at all. Not at all.
That's all right.
All right, go ahead, Buck. I've hogged the interview here for the last 20 minutes. But Shandy is, I tell you, the women we've had in our program have been terrific, and Shandy's certainly one of them. You know, when I started here, Marianne Kubelik was one of my favorite players. She's another one who started that same year with B, except she got hurt, so she actually stayed an extra year. You might notice the Cole Kubelik, who's on the SEC network. That's her nephew, who's doing very well in the media with college football in the. So we keep up with her, and I see Bobby Mims now and then, and I saw her at a women's game actually earlier this year. So she's doing well, but it's a shame we're not going to be able to have a reunion this year because of COVID. They actually sent out something to the men.
We got one. We got one this summer.
Oh, this summer. That's right. I'm talking about during the season, but yeah, Buck, it's opportunity. You go ahead. You go ahead and plug that. Give us a plug on that.
Yeah, Sandy will be coming down to Clemson University.
I will try and fit it in my schedule. I will try and fit it in my schedule.
She's going to be there because now I got her contacts, Tim, and I'm going to be in her ear every day, every weekend, making sure she has them 3 days signed off. Let her come and meet all the other female basketball players and football guys and enjoy the wonderful weekend of golf and hanging out with all her former alumni.
Sandy, you're going to have to shut off your phone at times. You're going to be getting so many messages from Bob.
I know how to let him go to voicemail. I know how to let him go to voicemail.
But
I said we're gonna try. I will try.
We're gonna try our best to get her down there, Tim. We're gonna try our best to get her down there, man. And
yes, everything. we need to have a good female representation.
We had a long time last year, didn't we, Tim?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great event. It's going to get nothing but bigger.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
Buck's doing some big things. Buck, you're doing big things. You know a lot of people.
Man, I'm just trying to
shaker now.
Together. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a family guy. You know, I came from a family of 10. So I understand what family is. So I'm just trying to bring these guys back to our home, you know, our alma mater, and just enjoy each other and network. And because like I said, that's what the whole point of me doing this show right here is to find out what we doing in life now, you know, because a lot of times we don't get to really sit down and talk to each other and see each other. We get to see each other the night of the game and walk out on the court, but we really don't ever get to really sit down and talk and catch up. So that's one of the reasons of life after sports and bringing a lot of the former girls and guys back on the show and everything. So I know we talked about your high school career, your college career, and we know you went in. So Coach Davis told you got your master's and you got your doctorate at Clemson. And
I get my doctorate at Clemson.
Well, you get your doctorate
I got my bachelor's and master's at Clemson. I got my specialist degree and my doctorate from Argosy University in Sarasota, Florida.
That's good. So after you left Clemson and you got your doctorate, so I think you're currently living in Atlanta now?
Conyers, 30 miles, I guess, east of, takes 30 minutes to get downtown Atlanta. So
walk us through that series where Shandy Bryant left basketball, left coaching, didn't want to go play overseas. So what did you decide that you want to do in your other after you're like, hey, I'm retired, I'm done with all this. So what is my fashion now?
Well, my bachelor's degree is elementary education.
Okay.
So that was going to be my livelihood, and it is my livelihood now. When I came to Georgia, my aunt knew somebody in the DeKalb County school system, and she got me an interview. So the interview went well, and I've been at the same school. I came to this elementary school in Stone Mountain in '99, and I've been at the same elementary school since '99.
Wow, that's good.
And you teaching what grade what do you teach?
I teach 5th grade, sassy mouth 10 and 11-year-olds.
Wow. You're right. So that's what they think they know.
Well, you were always one yourself, a sassy one, so that makes perfect sense.
That's what Coach Davis said. So we fit together. We fit together.
Wow. So you've been a teacher for 22 years.
Actually, that was DeKalb. I taught in Seneca for 3 years.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Wow.
So, yes. So, I'm not looking at retirement yet, but it's in my purview.
But did you always know you wanted to be did you always knew you wanted to be a teacher in the back of your mind? Because I remember I kind of do the same thing, but on the classes, teaching the young kids. Because I love working with the 5, 6, 7, 8, 9-year-olds. Because you gotta have great patience.
You do.
You gotta have great patience working. So when did you really that hit you?
Probably my freshman summer or sophomore year at Clemson, because I was talking about Jackie Mattress, which was one of my friends from Clemson. She's still a friend now. She was an education major. So I think I started in education then, but I had a great aunt who was an educator as well for many years. So I had some educators in the family.
Okay. You look real studious right now too, because
that's why I wore my new glasses. That's
you
why
look like a teacher. Don't you tell? Don't you
Absolutely.
Look like, and my ponytail is, hey, I had to look good for y'all.
We've got all these messages, down the right side. Most of them are all named Brian, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, my friend Sean.
Can you see them, Sandy?
I can. They're popping up.
Yeah.
Carruthers up. My cousin, my friend Sean, my niece.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Awesome. Hey, I do want to ask you, Shandy, getting a doctorate degree, there's not a lot of former Clemson student athletes that have doctorate degree. How long did that take you, and what was that process like?
Oh, wow. It took me actually 3.5 years. Really, it should have taken 3, but once I started working on my dissertation, it was kind of overwhelming because I was working too. So I just took a little time to slow down. So I spent another semester working on my dissertation.
So you're the only person to redshirt during your pursuit of a doctorate degree.
I didn't totally quit. I just slowed down.
I'm only kidding. I'm just kidding.
You redshirted.
But the school that I went to, it worked. It was a great fit for educators because I traveled to Sarasota, Florida on spring break and in the summers. We had an assignment to do a month before our class, and then we went to class face to face, and then after class we had an assignment to do. But we spent 2 to 3 weeks face to face in class, so we were able to do it during spring break, during the summer, Thanksgiving break. So they work with educators.
So you didn't physically have to move to Sarasota. You just went there for blocks of time?
No, but it was great. My parents even went with me a couple of times. We got a condo on the beach, and they were able to hang out while I was in class.
Wow, that's a perfect deal.
Because, I don't know if y'all have been to Sarasota, but it's beautiful. The beaches are beautiful.
I'm actually going there next week. I'm working a golf tournament for NBC Sports in Bradenton, so I'll be right down that area. So
yeah, Sarasota is where you go and you retire if you have that kind of money. I wouldn't be able to go and retire in Sarasota, but maybe close by.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice golf courses down there, golf course communities. I'm aware of.
Take us a trip. So Shannon, let's like we didn't cover your mom and dad. Uh so let's talk a little bit about them, and I know they played a big part of your life. I know you're a very family oriented family. Uh,
Right.
just let everybody know what your mom and dad really mean to you, and how big of an impact they've been to your life.
Oh, well, I'm very fortunate because I don't know how many people now that you could say, they grew up with both parents, and my parents are still married today. I want to say they've been married for, how old is my brother? I think my brother will be 54 years old this year. They've
Okay.
been married for over 50 years.
Wow, that's
Wow.
awesome. Terrific.
So they've always been there, traveled to games, wherever we went, they were there. So, I mean, just something awesome to have because it's not frequent that everybody has both parents growing up these days.
Well, Buck, that's interesting. We talked to Grayson Marshall last night,
Yeah.
and his parents his mother passed away recently, but his parents also had a terrific impact on his career too, and we could see the same thing with Shandy.
Right. So that was a big plug right there, Shannon. So Shannon, I always put girls on the spot. Excuse me, not girls, young ladies on the spot.
I knew what you meant.
Sorry about that. If you had to look back over your career, who was your favorite teammate?
My favorite teammate?
Yeah.
I enjoyed all my teammates.
You gotta have one favorite one. You gotta have
I'm
one
gonna
favorite teammate.
I'm gonna stay safe. I enjoyed all my teammates. Because every teammate has a part to play. Whether
Right.
it was somebody that didn't get to play a lot and they were encouragement, or whether it was somebody that passed me the rock, or whether it was somebody that set a pick for me, all of my teammates were great.
Hey Tim, she got out of that one.
I didn't know you were planning on going into politics too soon. Well, I'm not going to put you on the spot, but I got to tell you, I still keep up with Dana Puckett a good bit,
Okay.
who was one of your teammates,
Mhm.
and I assume you know that she's married to Lamar Jackson's coach with the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh no, I didn't. I did not know that.
Yeah. So she's had a very interesting life traveling around the country. She's got a nice family, and obviously the Baltimore Ravens have done well, but it obviously has some ups and downs. It wasn't always great, but
Right.
in the NFL, it's a tough deal. But it's kind of ironic that the guy who beat out Deshaun Watson to win the Heisman Trophy, his coach now is married to a former women's basketball player from Clemson.
Right. That's awesome. That is awesome.
But she's doing really well. She's great. Just she worked for me her 5th year. She
Okay.
worked at Sports Information, so
Yeah,
that's how I got to know her. And that was also the year the Carolina Panthers played at Clemson, and I got her a job working Carolina Panther games. She met her husband because he was working for the Panthers then. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So
Maybe I need to come and let Tim Beret find me a husband.
Maybe I need to get you a job with an
Hey, you
NFL
not
team or
married?
something.
No, I'm not married. I am not married.
That's okay.
Wow.
I know.
Neither am I. I'm not either. So
Yeah.
I married my job 40 years ago.
Hey, Tim. I'm not either. So hey,
And
I
you're
guess
not
it's,
either. Okay. We're just 3 fun-loving
either.
single people is what we are.
Hey,
Right here.
ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing's wrong with that.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That's all right. But most definitely, I don't know what's our time.
We only got 2 minutes. 2 minutes left.
Oh.
Your time is winding down because my workout starts in 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Well, most definitely. Well, Shannon, no, we do appreciate you coming on the show and giving us this opportunity to catch up with you and see what's going on in your life now, and let your fans and people that's wondering where is Shandy Bryant and Tim find her a good husband.
Hey, my mama just said Tim find her a good Come on now.
Yeah, I just got a thing. Tim, find her a good husband. We got all kind of messages here. This is the most messages we've ever had, Shandy, by the way.
Hey, Tim, you gotta find her a good husband, Tim.
Well, I tell you one thing, though. I wish I was a fifth grader back there. She'd be a great teacher to have as my teacher.
Look, I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm all
Hey,
right.
Tim, what we need to do?
Good.
We need to go. We need a surprise her and just sit in the back and be like, we went back to fifth grade and just see
That's
how
right.
she really teaches. See
Absolutely.
if she can make
Y'all
a
come
run like
on.
Coach Davis used to make her run the stairs. But
Come
no,
on.
but we really enjoyed you coming part of the show, Shannon, and spending time with us tonight and everything. And most definitely always welcome to come back and be a part of the show. And hopefully we get to see you this summer at the reunion, celebrity golf tournament reunion and everything, and find out some of the other young ladies that will be showing up and the guys. It's always a privilege to talk to a fellow Clemson alumni that's actually doing some great things out in the communities and giving back and doing what you're doing, helping these young kids and educate them for 20 some years. So they know it takes a lot of pride and a lot of effort to do all that, but you got to have great patience. And just once again, I'm just saying, it's just once again to just show how Clemson people work out here outside they graduate. So, come from a
Thank
good
you so
background.
much.
So,
Great to see
Well,
you,
thank you
Shandy.
Thank you, Tim, and thank you for having me, Wayne Buckingham. I appreciate you thinking about me.
no, most definitely that. And you're always welcome to be part of the show, girl. Almost definitely that and everything.
All right, and I am going to try to fit it in my schedule for June, but I know you're going to keep reminding me.
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely that. Hey,
Don't
tell them what the guys say, Grant and Dale and all of them. They're like, but they call me spam. Hey,
Oh,
somebody got to do it. Might well be me,
That's right.
But
All right, well, thank you, guys. I thoroughly enjoyed the laughs.
All right, good to see you.
All right.
Take care, girl.
Take care.
All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye.
All right. Tim, how you doing, brother? How things going, man?
I'm good. I'm glad you got Shandy on there. Boy, she always had a great smile and was a great player, but just a great person. It's great to visit with her.
Like she ain't aged a bit, man. She still looks the same. I was looking at some
She
of the pictures of
does.
the
She
video.
hasn't changed a bit. She
Yeah,
has not changed a bit. She looks great. She looks great.
So what's going on up there at Clemson today? How things going?
Well, it's been a lousy weather day, but we did get the softball game in, and it was a great day for Clemson softball. Clemson played 14th ranked Virginia Tech today and won 8-1. And so that's just the second time we've beaten a ranked team. This is only the second year of Clemson softball. So that season is off to a great start. We're 3-0, supposed to play a doubleheader tomorrow. It's also the start of the baseball season tomorrow. I'm going to be doing that game with William Quackenbush on the ACC Network Extra on the internet. I'm going to, as soon as I hang up with you, I'm going to go over and watch the Lady Tigers play North Carolina over at Little John Coliseum, and hopefully we get that men's team back playing.
So how are we looking? How are we looking with the men's team? How are we looking?
Well, of course they were supposed to come back to practice today, and I haven't heard if that actually happened or not. But I will certainly find out. But we'd won 4 of our last 5 and had a great win over Georgia Tech, your favorite team to beat when you were playing. And a great shot by Nick Honor to win the game near the buzzer with just 1 second left. So right now our next game is next Wednesday at Wake Forest, and then we would have 2 home games after that. The question is whether the ACC is going to try to match us up and play one of these games that we've already missed. So we're up to five missed games right now.
Right. So let me ask you this question, Tim, while I got you on here. What did they decide on the ACC tournament? Are they going to try to have it, or are they just going to go with the best teams with the best records out of the conference?
Yeah, you're right, Buck. There's been a lot of discussion about what to do. Right now, they actually interesting you said that the ACC actually put out a release today with a bracket that has everybody in it. I mean, it would be based on seeds, obviously, and there's still games to be played. And they said that there would be no public sale of tickets, that the player parents would get to come, and like the coaches' wives and that. So, but that's all they're going to try to. But right now the plan is to full go to have the tournament. But you're right; it's a tough deal for the coaches and administrators of the teams that are already pretty much think they're in the NCAA tournament. I like to believe that Clemson is one of those teams, because one of the stipulations of the NCAA tournament is you have to have 7 consecutive days of negative tests to go to Indianapolis and play in the tournament. So everybody's worried, well, I go to Greensboro, and what if somebody catches the virus and we can't go to the tournament? So that's a tough call. I'm not sure, what provisions are going to be done to try to, prevent it. The last 2 positives that Clemson has had, we've had to stop, have not been because of players. It's because of staff.
Right. That's what I was going to ask you. It wasn't the players, it was the coaching staff.
Well, actually, it was the coaching staff the first time, and then I think this time it was a staff member, not necessarily a full-time. I don't know who it was, but not necessarily a full-time, staff member. So, it's crazy, but you have the situation that one of the kids of one of the staff members could keep you from playing.
Right.
Which you hate, but you just got to do the best that you. And I'm not saying that's what's happened this time. I don't know, but I know that's been the case at other schools.
So let me ask you this question too. I don't know if we could talk about it or not, but I'm gonna ask you. If you can't, we'll just go on something else. The shots. Are they giving the shot to the players? Like, is it mandatory, or do they have option to get that shot, the vaccine shot?
Not yet. No, the actually, Clemson is in athletics is still following the same guidelines as everybody else in the state of South Carolina. Yeah. Now, if you're a carer, like a doctor, all the Clemson doctors, all the trainers, Danny Poole, all those guys, Crows, the basketball trainer, they will get the shot or have gotten the shot already. They were one of the first people to get it. But other than that, in the state, you got to be 65 years or older to get it. Now, I just turned 65, and I got the shot last Friday, and then I'll get a second shot in March. But it's going to be. I mean, the players aren't going to get shots, I don't think, until June or July. Like when the regular public, there won't be anything special for the student athletes, is what I'm saying. They'll get it along with everybody else.
I didn't know that they had anything set up for that, like going to the ACC tournament and to the NCAA tournament. Since they got the vaccine and stuff,
Right. Yeah. No, unfortunately, you kind of wish they would, but they don't. But they also feel, there's a lot of older, sick people who should be getting the shot before healthy athletes are getting it.
Right. Got you. I understand that. So that's pretty much all that's going on around Clemson.
Now spring football practice is supposed to start next Wednesday. So you'll be getting some news about Clemson football back then.
So how many guys we have come back and get the extra year? Do we have anybody come back for that extra year?
Yeah. I believe we've got 5 guys who would be seniors. And of course, the biggest ones are James Skalski, a starting mid linebacker, number 47, is a great team leader. Right. And then Nolan Turner in the secondary. And then our punter, Spires, he'll be back. And then the running back, Darian Rencher, is taking advantage of it. And Coach Sweeney's son, who's the holder, he's coming back for a 5th year. So those are all important, especially when it comes to leadership. Darian Rencher, I kid people that he might not have been a 5-star in the field, but when it comes to leadership, he's a 5-star leader on the team. And so it's always great to have guys like that coming back.
All right. So where are we looking at our recruits? Where did we finish up in the top 10 on recruits coming in? And
3, 4, and 5. Way up in the top 5 and all the pretty much in all the recruiting rankings. So, and there's 12 guys from this class that are already enrolled in school. So that's big that they're going to go through spring practice. I think that's real important that they get to go through spring practice before they play their freshman year. I think that's important. We've seen Deshaun Watson did that, Trevor Lawrence did that, and they were all that more ready when the season came.
So look, so you just brought up a name right there. Since I got you on here, I'm picking your brain. So how things are looking down in Texas for Deshaun? Like, have you ever had a chance to speak to him or know anything that's going on? I know he's holding out that he do not want to be in Texas.
Yeah, no, I have not. I just see the news reports that I'm just not sure what's going on with it. You might have seen a fellow named Jamie Roots, who was the president of the club for 20 years, who's a Clemson graduate, played on our soccer national championship teams of 84 and 87. He graduated just before you came to school. But he resigned and decided to leave the club, and he didn't say it in a statement, but people reported that he was disappointed with the direction of the program. So I don't know. When J.J. Watt left, who's a great leader. So and I mean, I know Deshaun signed that big contract and all, but
do you think it kind of went down here? To me, it kind of like after they traded Hopkins. It kind of like everything was kind of like just did a nose.
Couldn't agree with you more. I mean, Buck, just last year, they're in the final 8 of the NFL playoffs, and they're ahead of Kansas City 24-0. 24-0 they were ahead in the playoff game against the team that eventually won the Super Bowl. So ever since that collapse happened, and then then they traded traded Nuke. That's what kind of really started it all.
Kind of pissed him off. How you gonna have the best receiver in the NFL and the top 2 receivers, and you trade him for nothing?
Yeah,
you took one of his main weapons. Then these kids play together in college. College too. Yeah. Like, why would you break up that duel? That's like breaking up Tom Brady and what's my man's name?
Gronk.
Yeah. Like, that's his go-to guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of like my what you call it, my comfort blanket.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I never did
understand that. Good analogy.
Wow, I never did understand that. Yeah. But most definitely, Tim, had a great week, man. We had a big storm come through here last night, man. We got about 8 inches of snow and ice and water, and I think it's done started back snowing again, and kind of just shut in down here, I
saw your pictures, Buck. I thought you'd moved to Indiana. I thought you were living in South Bend.
Hey, it felt like it because I was outside, but it was so pretty, Tim. It's like it was just
absolutely
beautiful. And wasn't nobody all tracked through it, so it was I took a few pictures, and I didn't really lay down in the snow and roll around, but I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was some big old flakes too, man. And I woke up this morning. I mean, it was probably about that high on the car, and everything. So it covered up all the ice we had before. First we had an ice storm, and the trees are bending over. So it kind of reminded me of one of the old country winters when I used to live here back when I was young. Because to me, I haven't seen a good winter in a long time. So I'm kind of happy that we had it. Y'all didn't get no snow or nothing up there in Clemson?
We got no snow in Clemson. No, it was just rain. It wasn't even ice. I mean, it was cold. It's lousy out. But it was been about 40 degrees and raining. But tomorrow is supposed to be sunny. It's going to be cold, but I'm going to be broadcasting that baseball game in about 45-degree weather. That could be a little cold for the guys.
You be inside or outside? You be inside?
I'll be in a press box.
Oh, you got no face on it, huh?
Yeah. So and they'll put a partition up, I guess, for the COVID and everything. But it'll be good.
Actually, I'll be coming that way, Tim. On next week, I'll probably be coming towards Clemson on the Monday and Tuesday. I got mentor classes Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
And I think Wednesday I'm gonna head up that way, man, and try to go by the golf course and talk to a few of the people, try to get things lined up for the summer and get
That'd
the
be
dates
great.
and everything. So if you're around,
Unfortunately, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to be in Florida. I'm going to be working
that's
that
right.
golf tournament for NBC in Bradenton, Florida,
Okay.
down there this week. But
Well,
we'll catch up.
make sure you give us a shout out down there, Tim. And we appreciate you coming on the show, being co-host, man. And I don't know if I told you that, but bringing the news for my alma mater, your alma mater, Clemson, and we appreciate all that. And we got a lot more famous guys and young ladies coming to the show, and let's just hang in there, and we'll make it great.
Sounds good, Buck. Good to see you.
All right, thank you, Tim. I'll talk to you later.
All
Appreciate
right.
you being on the show. All right.
Sounds good. We'll see you.